All right, so what is this one?
Advice for the Moo Tubes!
Advice for the Moo Tubes.
Rafi's Rambles, Rafi's Rambles, Rafi's Rambles.
Hola, you amazing artist, and today we are going to talk about the Moo Tubes.
Indeed. We have a great question from Shayana Carden. She listens to our podcast, watches our YouTube vids, follows us on Skillshare, and is a patron on Patreon.
Hi!
Congratulations and thank you for being all up in all the things that we do.
Thank you.
We adore you for it. Her Facebook page is Shay's Styles, in case anyone is interested in checking her out. Her great question is, Hi Rafi and Klee, I'm a huge fan of your channel. You've inspired me to come out of my shell during the pandemic to get the ball rolling. Hooray!
Congratulations!
I'm considering starting a YouTube channel. Is there any advice you could give? Like, what do you use to edit your videos? I'd greatly appreciate it. Stay awesome. I thought maybe we could go over a little bit of the tech stuff and a little bit of like the
otherness of the YouTube. Yeah, as far as like editing software, I use Sony Vegas because that's what I used years ago, of 15 years ago or 20 years, I don't even know, like years ago when I was, in fact, it's not even Sony Vegas anymore, it's Magix. Back when I got it was when I was doing horror films with my kids. So I just kind of learned how to use that, and that's what I've been using ever since.
I have years of experience sometimes watching Rafi use Sony Vegas, and I would say from watching him, I think personally it's probably quite an intuitive and easy program to use once you get the basics.
I got that on sale. I think I got it for like $50 because typically they're like $250 to like $400 for the program. So just look around for a good sale, or there's plenty of other programs out there that you could play around with. It's just a matter of getting comfortable with the way that the program works.
And it depends on your approach. Like if you're going to do it the way we do it and then edit it on a laptop, I know some YouTubers, they do it from their phone and they probably edit it from their phone too. Yep. But of course we're talking about how we do. So that's how we do.
Yeah, that's how we do.
Now,
the hard way, most likely.
The hard way.
Yeah.
Because Rafi likes it that way.
Yeah.
We have all the things right now, but when we started with like a middle of the road kind of semi-good Olympus camera.
Yeah.
And no microphone whatsoever.
No, we didn't even use the Olympus camera. We used the Olympus camera at the very beginning, but before that we had like a cheap point and shoot camera.
That's right.
Then eventually when the iPhone, you were able to record with the iPhone, we recorded a lot of the videos with iPhone.
Yeah, and I learned a lot of things about how you should not pan and zoom and move around flailingly.
Yes.
In videos.
One thing that boils my skin is when somebody is like zooming in and out of the shot, and I'm like, don't do that. Just don't zoom in and out. You don't need to zoom in and out while you're recording something because you could do all of that in post.
So these days we're rocking a Sony mirrorless camera. Ooh, we're going to get fancy on it.
Yeah.
And use one camera to film the other camera.
One camera to rule them all.
It'd be so weird.
Okay, so here's the camera that we use. And I got, what is this? The something. I don't know. It's the one where the little LED screen?
Yes. I believe that's what you just threw a bunch of letters out of your mouth.
All right, so the LED screen is on the top. I actually prefer that. This one, as you can see, the LED screen is on the side. So when I'm talking, if I happen to look over at the screen, I'm not looking at the camera anymore. So I like this one because I could see what's going on and I could still look at the camera lens itself. We have these Rode microphones. This is actually new, a brand new thing that we bought because,
Because the sound quality...
The sound was horrible. The sound quality still sucks, but it's way better than it was. It has nothing to do with the microphone. It has to do with the fact that, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. The other thing we got were lamps. You can see these lamps in here.
with light socks, light diffuser socks.
Yeah.
Which are pretty fly, and we got on Amazon for like barely any money. Those little light diffuser socks were very affordable.
The whole idea.
I forgot to turn on my light.
I didn't turn hers on. That's why she's
Fail. That's great that we're doing this YouTube tutorial, and I forgot my light.
When I film stuff in the studio where I'm working on a painting, I actually have this boomstick.
This is our boomstick.
With a GoPro, and that's what I use to record myself painting. So when we go out on the road, we actually take the GoPros with us, and that's the footage that you see out there.
And we also have this cool little portable ring light with a battery pack for beautiful lighting on the go when we need it too.
When we got started, we didn't have this stuff. And it wasn't until recently that we started to upgrade the equipment because we wanted to do a little bit more with the video stuff. Because just like with everything else in the art studio, everything evolves. So we wanted to be able to do a little bit more, make it a little bit easier on ourselves. So we did make the investment in getting the equipment that we wanted versus the equipment that we needed. Because honestly, the only thing that you really need is a phone that records video. And there you go. You've got a great picture quality on phones. We picked everything up on sale. So there's always sales going on. Obviously, these are older cameras, so they're less expensive than if you buy a brand new camera. Some of the older cameras are still really, really good. So
yeah, they make them to last a long time. Yeah. And even though they're always upgrading the technology, they're great cameras.
Yeah, you don't need anything fancy unless you want a certain look. And in that case, whatever it is that you want to do will dictate it. But if you're doing videos like these where it's just talking heads, then an iPhone camera will work just fine.
So then let's move on to the non-tech stuff.
Okay.
How to be comfortable starting a YouTube channel. How about that?
One of the comments was, I'm not as comfortable as you are in front of the camera. You seem to be a natural at it. And the fact of the matter is that I am not a natural at it. I actually can get very flustered. In the beginning, when I started recording the videos, I didn't even know how to act once the camera came on. In my head, I knew what I wanted to say, and the camera would come on, and immediately I would just kind of freeze and act all a fool. When we were traveling on the road, we had these little cameras, and basically every video that I see of us on the road when we were out traveling, it was in the very beginning, and every single one, I've got this cool guy face going on in every single one with my sunglasses and stuff. And instead of just being me, I was trying to act like I was cool. So there's a learning curve. You have to get comfortable with the camera.
Trust that your videos are going to be good, and you're going to get better and more comfortable. I mean, so our videos sucked pretty bad in the beginning.
Our videos, according to some people, still suck pretty bad. So
yeah. So it's just, a work in progress. Only talk about stuff that you care about. Don't try to talk about stuff that you think you should talk about if you don't care about it just because you think you should. Because that doesn't work out very good.
When you think about it, especially as artists, doing these videos is part of the creative expression that I do. So a lot of thought went into it, and there was a lot of trial and error. In the same way that when I started my art career, I would work on certain pieces, and then there were other pieces that I thought people wanted to see. Do I want to get famous by creating these? Do I want to get famous by creating that? The question, do I want to get famous at all? Is that what this is about? Through trial and error and through working through things and realizing I don't need to put these super elaborate artsy videos together of me creating work with these beautiful panning shots and stuff like that, because although I wanted to, because I wanted it to look a certain way, what I realized at the end of the day was that was a lot of extra work that I didn't want to do. I didn't necessarily want to do, nor did I want to become YouTube famous. That wasn't the reason that we were putting these videos out there. Being authentic, it's one of the reasons that the setup that we have is so easy to do, because we're full-time artists. This studio, this is what we do for a living. And for the most part, the videos are just an extra thing that we do, but that's where we make our bread and butter, back there. And so anytime that's taken away from the art, has to have some kind of meaning behind it for why we do it.
Emotional value.
Exactly. And having that connection with a worldwide community of artists that really, really justify, us investing any money into camera equipment or anything like that, and B, investing the time into doing these videos and editing video and all that stuff. When you're editing video, listen, a 10-minute video takes forever to edit, depending on what you're doing, especially if you don't have a script like we do. We just turn on the camera and just talk. And whether or not it's good, bad, or ugly, mostly it gets posted.
It's never ugly. Some other things I would throw out there is don't be afraid to try stuff. We're constantly trying stuff. We've got some harebrained ideas we're going to be trying here in the near future.
Yep.
That's always going to be a thing. Always evolve. Always try stuff. Have a good time. Another thing you can do is invite friends to join you on your channel because, I mean, depending on what your content is like, but when you have people you enjoy being around, it can make you feel more at ease and comfortable. One lady had called me your little friend, and I enjoy your little friend.
Yeah, your little friend that's on the videos with you. And I'm like, you mean my wife? I mean, ultimately, what really matters is, ask yourself, why do you want to do videos? Make sure that your answers are genuine for you. And understand that, like, it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work to do these videos. There's a lot of people out there that look at YouTubers and are like, oh, they get to make free money and they, do nothing or whatever. Like, this is a lot of work. The idea of filming yourself, talking about a certain subject, getting all that footage edited together, the more fancy that footage looks, where they've got a lot of B-roll and stuff like that, a lot of work goes into all the aspects of it, even so much as to when you post and when you don't post. I personally don't pay any attention to any of that stuff because my career is not as a YouTuber. My career is an artist who uses YouTube as a platform to be able to talk to other artists or just the world in general. It is absolutely and completely fascinating that we are in a time in the world where someone like me, who spends a lot of time in his art studio, not really going out into outside land, gets to communicate with other people from all around the world who are creative. And I remember being young and wondering to myself, like, how do I get to meet other people out there that are doing something similar to what I'm doing?
If only there was a way. I remember thinking that.
If only there was a way. And here we are. We've got this out there. And obviously you could make a little bit of extra money if you monetize your videos, which to me, if like you're not monetizing your videos, that's kind of silly because it's just another way to be able to make some money. But be warned, it's really not that much.
For a long time.
It's not. YouTube is not going to pay for your camera equipment.
Your videos might eat you out of house and home for a while.
Yes. Hopefully that answers your question. The most important thing for me is make sure that you're authentic and that you're real with yourself, because the same way with art, where you don't want to niche yourself in something that maybe you're doing because you think it's going to get you somewhere or you think that it's going to get results, just make sure that you don't allow yourself to do that, because if you're doing anything that isn't what you actually want to do, you're going to feel stuck. Same way with your art career, same way if you're writing music just to become popular, if you're doing videos just to become popular, trust me, videos are not the easiest way to become popular. The same way as being an artist is not the easiest way, or creating art and putting it out there is not the easiest way to become popular. You're better off just being authentic and real.
Thank you, Shayana, for this awesome question,
which
allowed us to not only enjoy our little tour that we did, but also talk about our motivations for why we do it and how we do it. There's a bajillion ways to do the YouTube
There's a
thing.
bajillion ways to do it, and there's a plethora of reasons why you want to do it. So, like, you just got to figure it out for yourself, and then just jump in. Just do it. Don't wait for the equipment. Don't wait for whatever. Just do what you can with what you have now, and understand that you're going to just keep growing and evolving that as you go. Don't wait around for things or for the situation to be perfect. Just jump in with both feet.
I'd also like to say that if you go for it, please drop us a line so that we may check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And also understand that it's probably going to be cricket. We had, for our channel, it was crickets for like 5 years. No one was watching us.
Not even our family.
No. And then towards year 6, we had maybe like 50 or 60 people watching us.
We were like, yes.
I was like, we're famous. Yeah. Just remember, it takes time, which is why it's important that you're not doing it to become famous or to try and get people to follow you, because if it's not working out within the first few months, you're going to get really discouraged and you're just going to quit. So find a different reason why you're doing what you're doing if you're doing YouTube videos. And that's it. I'm curious to know if any of you guys have tried out your own YouTube channels or what kind of tips you might have. Because, I mean, we're in this community together. You are either observing us on YouTube or you have your own YouTube channel. So, like, absolutely share it down in the comment section. And whatever tips you have for us or anyone else out there, go ahead and share that as well. And thank you so much for watching, you guys. You guys are absolutely freaking amazing. I totally adore you. And if you like this and you want to watch more like this, just click right over here to subscribe. And that's it. Say goodbye, Clee.
Good day.
Adios.